Imagine you're 18 years old in the United States. You graduate high school. Maybe you go to college. Maybe you don't. Either way, the message is the same. Get a job. Build a career. Climb the ladder. Retire at 65. It sounds normal, responsible, safe. But here's the truth almost nobody says out loud. From the moment you start working, you begin selling pieces of your life. Not metaphorically, literally. You wake up at 6:30 a.m. You commute. You sit in traffic. You clock in. You attend meetings. You respond to emails. You wait for Friday. And in exchange, a paycheck every 2 weeks. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How much is 1 hour of your life worth? If you make $60,000 a year, that sounds decent. Solid middle-class income. But let's break it down. $60,000 divided by 12 months equals $5,000 per month. You work roughly 22 days a month. That's about 176 hours. $5,000 over 176 hours is approximately $28 per hour. On paper, $28 an hour sounds fine, but that's not the real number. Add commuting time, mental stress, weekend anxiety, after-hours emails, the fact that you're mentally drained when you get home. Now ask yourself, would you hand a stranger 1 hour of your life for $28 in cash? If the answer is no, then why are you doing it 5 days a week? The normality trap. In America, the system is polished. It's not obvious. It's comfortable. You get a 401k, maybe health insurance, 2 weeks of vacation. You feel secure. But what you really have is dependency. Your income depends on your employer, the economy, your health, your availability, corporate decisions you don't control. If you stop working, the money stops. That's not freedom. That's conditional survival. We've normalized trading time for money because that's how it works. But normal doesn't mean optimal. Time is a non-renewable asset. Money can be lost and earned again. Businesses fail and restart. Skills can be learned. Time only moves forward. If you're 25, you might have 40 prime working years left. 40 years times 52 weeks equals 2,080 weeks. 2,080 weeks. And most people spend the majority of those weeks working, recovering from work, thinking about work. You are renting out the most valuable asset you'll ever own, and you're renting it cheaply. The corporate ceiling. Let's be brutally honest. If your company pays you $80,000 a year, it's not because that's what you're worth. It's because that's the minimum they can pay you to keep you productive. If you generate $200,000 in value for the company, they don't hand you $200,000. They keep the margin. That's how business works. There's nothing evil about it. But understand this clearly. A salary is not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you stable. Stable people don't take risks. Stable people don't question the system. Stable people stay. The retirement illusion. Let's talk about retirement. The American dream says, work 40 to 45 years. Invest in your 401k. Retire at 65 or 67. Then enjoy life. But here's what most people don't calculate. If you start working at 22 and retire at 67, that's 45 years. 45 years of selling your time. To maybe enjoy 15 to 20 years at the end, if your health allows it. You delay freedom until you are physically weaker, and you call it planning. The math of a lifetime. Let's do the lifetime earnings math. Say you average $75,000 a year over 40 years. $75,000 times 40 equals $3 million gross income. Sounds impressive. Now subtract taxes, housing, food, insurance, healthcare, cars, college debt, inflation. What's left? And was $3 million worth 40 years of early alarms? That's the question nobody forces you to face. The wealthy think differently. Most people ask, how do I get a raise? Wealth builders ask, how do I build something that pays me without my presence? There are 4 levels of income. Active income. You work. You get paid. Business income. A system works. You get paid. Investment income. Capital works. You get paid. Intellectual/digital income. You create once. It sells repeatedly. 90% of Americans stay in level 1. Why? Because it feels safe. But safe often equals slow. Linear versus scalable. Your job income is linear. More hours leads to more money. Fewer hours leads to less money. There's a ceiling. But scalable income works differently. You create a course, a software tool, a YouTube channel, a digital product, an online brand. You build it once. You can sell it 10 times or 10,000 times. That's leverage. You can only sell 1 hour once, but you can sell a product infinitely. Why most people never escape. It's not lack of intelligence, it's lack of urgency. Bills are covered. Netflix works. Payday comes. There's no pain strong enough to push change. So years pass. You get promotions, more responsibility, more stress, but the same structure. Time to money. The real risk. Most people think entrepreneurship is risky. But ask yourself, is it riskier to try building an asset while you're young, or to depend on one paycheck for 40 years? Layoffs happen. Industries shift. AI automates roles. And suddenly, stable disappears overnight. The biggest risk in modern America is thinking your job is permanent. The question that changes everything. If nothing changes, where will you be in 10 years? Older, more experienced, still trading time, or building leverage, building assets, building freedom. Your future is determined by what you build on the side of your job, not by your job itself. The turning point. Working isn't the enemy. Dependency is. You don't quit your job tomorrow. You start building something alongside it. Because the goal isn't to stop working. The goal is to stop being forced to work. And in part 2, we'll break down exactly how to move from hourly survival to scalable income in the modern American economy. If this made you uncomfortable, good. Growth starts with discomfort. Awareness without action is just entertainment. So let's talk execution, not theory, strategy. Step 1. Stop thinking in pay periods. Most Americans think in 2-week cycles. When's my next paycheck? That mindset traps you. You need to think in years. Ask yourself, what am I building this year that will still pay me 3 years from now? If the answer is nothing, you're still in survival mode. Step 2. Build around a skill. You don't need a revolutionary idea. You need leverage. Pick a skill: coding, sales, fitness, finance, marketing, design, storytelling. Then do this. Learn deeply. Document publicly. YouTube, X, Instagram, blog. Grow an audience. Package your knowledge into a product. The first 6 to 12 months feel slow. That's where most people quit. But skill plus audience equals freedom potential. Step 3. Use modern tools. We live in the most unfairly advantageous time in history. One person today can build a website in hours, launch an e-commerce store, automate emails, use AI for research and content, reach millions through social media. 20 years ago, that required a team and capital. Today, it requires discipline. Opportunity is no longer scarce. Focus is. Step 4. Shift from income to assets. Income pays bills. Assets build freedom. Examples of modern assets: equity in a business, index fund portfolio, digital courses, content libraries, subscription platforms, software products. Every dollar you earn should answer one question: does this fund consumption, or does it fund freedom? The hard truth. For the first few years, you will work more than everyone else. Job during the day, building at night, weekends invested. It's not balanced, but it's temporary. What's permanent is working 40 years because you never started. The compounding effect. The first year, you might make nothing. Year 2, a few thousand. Year 3, momentum. Year 5, real leverage. Income starts growing non-linearly. While others ask for 3% raises, your system grows 30%. That's the power of scale. 2 10-year scenarios. Scenario A. You focus only on climbing the corporate ladder. 10 years later, higher salary, same dependency. Scenario B. You build skills, brand, assets for 10 years. 10 years later, optionality, multiple income streams, freedom of choice. The difference? One decision today. Nobody is coming. The government won't save you. Your employer won't make you wealthy. The system rewards leverage, not loyalty. This isn't pessimism, it's clarity. And clarity gives you power. The final shift. Freedom doesn't start when you hit a number. It starts when you reduce dependence. When you know, if I lost my job tomorrow, I'd still be okay. That's real security. Your challenge. Tonight, do one thing. Outline a digital product idea. Open a brokerage account and study investing. Record your first piece of content. Write your first email newsletter. Start building something that belongs to you. Don't wait for perfect timing. There is no perfect time. There is only early or late. If this message challenged your thinking, that means it worked. Comment below, "I'm done trading only time." Hit like if you want more brutally honest breakdowns about money in America. Subscribe, because in the next videos, we'll break down real, practical models that help you build income streams that don't depend on your hours. Your life is finite. The question isn't whether you'll trade it. The question is, will you build something that buys it back?